For the past few weeks, I've been testing out the Swann Enforcer 4K DVR security system. The Swann Enforcer DVR set that I tested out had 6 bullet cameras that stream in 4K. This system is upgradable, so if you ever decide that you want to add more cameras, you can add up to 8 cameras on one system. So this system I tried had 6, so I can add 2 more. This system also does not involve a subscription fee of any kind, so once you buy the system and set it up, you can monitor via the app or your DVR from anywhere, and you don't have to pay a monthly fee. Setting up the Swann Enforcer DVR actually looked pretty intimidating, but it wasn't. When all was said and done, it was just a matter of plugging cameras into the back of the recorder and setting them up outside. Swann DVR comes with a mouse, and that mouse is what you will use to control your DVR and the admin screens and scroll through your cameras. Once you have connected to power, you're going to want to plug your Ethernet cable into your routers. So if your router's too far away, like mine was, I just plugged into one of my Wi-Fi pucks. That being said, you do not need to have Wi-Fi to monitor through the DVR system. You only need to have Wi-Fi if you'd like to use the Swann app. With a wired security system, you're going to have a lot of cords and cables. So after installing this, I think the best bet is to be able to have a place to hide them. If you have the opportunity to string the cords through your walls, then that's a great idea. Or if you can place your DVR on a bookshelf and then have your cords go through a wall to your outside yard if you're using them outside, or through the ceiling or attic if it's inside. Just to get an idea of placement for my cameras, I decided to string the cords outside the window, and it was more than enough cord to surround my house. So the first thing that you'll want to do though is install the cameras, hook them up to the back of the DVR, and make sure they're all working. I also wouldn't recommend detaching the cables from their ties, just because you can still connect them to the back of the DVR without having excess cable all over your living room. It does, especially with 6 cameras the way that I had, it made it a little challenging trying to sort them all and get them all set up. Once I had confirmed via the TV screen that each of the cameras was working, I just pulled them outside one by one. So I did place them around my yard in a sort of circle, and the reason I did that is because I wanted to see a flow from one area to another. So if somebody was going to come into my yard down the driveway, I wanted to be able to follow them as they progressed around my house. In the future, I do think that I will add 2 more of the 4K cameras, and I will ensure that I have extra long cord. So the cord that is included with this is 18 meters, and that is enough to get them outside, but it's not really enough to place them everywhere that I'd like to place them. When your cameras are placed, then everything starts to happen on your TV screen. So as you can see here, I have a grid set up where I can see all of the cameras at one time. And the first thing I noticed when testing out these cameras is how breathtaking the view was. There is no way I can overstate how amazing it is to have a solid 4K connection all around the yard. So with a Wi-Fi camera, I always have to rely on a 1080p connection or a 2K connection, and sometimes that will drop depending on how solid my Wi-Fi is on any given day. But with a wired camera, you maintain that connection all the time. When you go into the admin panel and you're setting up the cameras, you'll see a lot of different options, and there's actually so many options that I could do an entire video just on those. But you don't have to tweak your options. You can just plug the cameras in and start to use them. They will automatically begin to detect motion, and they have something called True Detect. And True Detect means that you can detect heat generating objects. So people or animals, even if they're lurking in your bushes, and whether it's day or night, your cameras can pick them up. Swann Enforcer also has color night vision. So here I am setting color night vision for some of my cameras. Now, color night vision on these cameras works best when there's an external light source. So I have lights all throughout my yard, but on the other side of my house, I don't. So I did not set those cameras to use color night vision because the built-in infrared night vision would be more than enough in those situations. These cameras also have a built-in siren and light, so you can turn that siren and light on at any point. You can actually set it so that if it detects motion on a schedule at a certain time of the night, that the siren and light will automatically come on. But I don't know if you'd like to be woken up by that because it is very loud. Here's what it sounds like. It is definitely something that you can hear inside of your house, so you don't need to worry that somebody will be outside, but you won't hear the siren. You can turn the siren on yourself if you do see somebody or you want to scare somebody away. And I think it is a good deterrent because it is extremely loud and very bright. You can watch the cameras right on your TV as they pick up motion. There'll be a little PIR symbol that appears on the screen of the camera that has detected motion or is picking up a heat generating object like my goats here. The image quality is amazing, as you can see, and it is lag free. So although it does seem to play back a little slow when you're playing it back on your own device, like my computer when I was importing the clips for iMovie, it does lag a little bit, but when you're looking at it on the TV screen or your phone via the Swann app, there's no lag at all. The Swann app is a basic app, but there are quite a few options in there, and you can set your video stream to high quality or medium quality, and I like to always set it to high quality. You can get notifications of motion when it detects motion, so it's a nice thing to have in your pocket if you're traveling or you're away from the house and you just want to take a peek and see what's going on. A lot of different options within the app too, so you can play around and see exactly what kind of notifications you'd like to receive or only see the feed from one or two cameras. It's completely up to you. Honestly, I was quite intimidated by installing a wired security system like this. I've never installed one before, but I found the entire process so easy, and I really, really like watching the TV screen and seeing what the Swann Enforcer 4K cameras are capturing. For the first time ever, I can basically follow my dogs as they wander around the yard and see what my animals are doing out in the pasture. And I know that if anybody comes up my driveway, I'm going to see them right away and I'll receive a notification about it. To have that lag-free 4K connection constantly on, I absolutely love that. And I also didn't mind placing the wires. I ended up burying a few of them, and it's actually a fairly seamless install once you really decide where you're going to place those cameras. Put that together with the fact that there is no subscription service with these cameras, and you have a total winner in my book. That's it for my review. If you have any questions, just hit me in the comments section. Thanks for watching.